Makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much longer.
Hello and welcome to THS Sports Update with Coach Ross. I'm Michael Trahan, along here with Coach Ross. He will be talking about the Hoover game that we played last Friday. So what were your thoughts about the game before?
Well, I mean, anytime you play in an environment like that, you're going to be excited. I mean, Hoover's got a nice setup, it's a nice field. You're playing one of the top teams in the state. It's just an excited feeling. Now, before the game is probably the best and the worst moments of my life. I mean, I love high school football. I love the smell of hot dogs and hamburgers and the band warming up. All that's exciting, but also I'm very nervous too as a coach, and I was as a player. It hadn't changed, it's a great atmosphere.
All right. On our first drive, we saw how our offense was in a rhythm and was able to do what they had to do and march the ball down the field. How did their defense shut down our rhythm late in the game?
Well, I mean, a couple things. Overall, I thought offensively we played better, a lot better than we did the week before against Vestavia. I was disappointed the way we played against Vestavia. Very proud of the way we played against Hoover. We got behind, and anytime you get behind, you get kind of more into where you got to pass the ball a little bit more, take more shots downfield. That messes you up, and credit to Hoover. Hoover's got a good defense. They're well coached, and they made the necessary adjustments, and they shut us down, but we moved the football most of the night and got another drive late in the game and scored.
All right, we managed to get on the board first, and you've talked about in previous meetings how it's important to get on the board first and get those first points. What was the mood like on the sideline when we got on the board first?
Oh, it's exciting, and I hope that's when you get on the board like that and you go up. And I think at one point, maybe 4 or 5 minutes in the second quarter, we were up 9-7, and I hope that proves to the kids that hey, you can play with these guys. They may have a more established program, and we're building one to get to that level, but we can play with these guys. They're 16, 17-year-old kids just like they are, and I hope that's what the move was great. I mean, kids were excited, people were excited. But just like good teams do, Hoover quickly made the plays to get ahead and take control of the game.
Even though we didn't win, were you pleased with the performance that the team had playing a top-ranked team?
I was. I was so much more pleased this past Friday night than it was against Vestavia. Truthfully, Hoover's probably a little bit better team than Vestavia, but we played so poor against Vestavia, we made them look a lot better than they were. Well, I thought Friday night we executed pretty good. Besides a deep ball turnover, we didn't. Besides that one, we didn't have any other turnovers. We managed the clock pretty good. We executed certain plays. I thought we could have played a little bit better defensively, and I know we'll talk more about that later. But overall, I was pleased.
All right, Matherson has been showing great poise in the pocket and everything. How has his development proved to you to be better this year?
Man, he's been fantastic. His stats are pretty good. I think he's thrown already either close to over 1,000 yards this year. His completion percentage is pretty decent. I'm just real proud of that kid. He's real poised. He never gets too excited, never gets too low. And again, the other night he had a good night. We didn't ask him to do a whole lot. It wasn't like we didn't throw it as much downfield this week as we did against Vestavia, but that was more part of our game plan, and he managed the game real well.
All right, their offense made some mistakes like false starts and illegal motions and substitutions. And we had them pinned back on third and really long, and they were able to convert. What was happening with our defense on that? Were they just beating us, or was it just some blown coverage?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, you're playing a game like that. You're going to have some mistakes. Kids are nervous. Getting back to the penalties, I was excited the fact that I think Hoover had twice as many penalties and yards as we did, penalty yards. And if that anything shows us that hey, we're doing the right things because we don't have as many penalties, but. Getting back to the defensive thing, for whatever reason, we're not making the tackles. We're missing some coverages. It's just a little combination of everything. Hoover executed well, and we're not doing what we're supposed to do. As far as the missing tackles, some of that is we got to get in the weight room this offseason, and physically we're not up to par with some of the other teams in our region, and that's going to take a year or two of a good weight program of getting bigger and stronger, and that's going to help us on defense, maintain point of attack, make tackles in the open field.
All right. Austin Sapp had maybe one of the biggest hits of the season so far. Did that spark enthusiasm on the sideline when he had that big hit?
Absolutely. I got excited. I think the crowd, the sideline, everybody got excited, and I think it made one of the top hits of the night on one of the news channels. But, yeah, absolutely. That gets momentum going in your favor. I mean, and that is a key part of the game is momentum. People feed off that. Our team feeds off that. When that happened, I want to say the next series when we threw the screen pass to Avery and he scored on like a 70-yard run. So.
All right. The offense and defense, did they play to your standards playing Hoover?
We're never going to play. I have such high expectations that we're probably never going to play to my standard, but we played better. Offensively, I thought we had a good night. Not a great night, but a good night. Kind of like we did against Stanhope. Good night, not great night. We executed the things. The opening drive was a 19-play drive, and I don't know if I've ever been a part of a 19-play drive, playing or coaching. Very proud of that. And against a very top-ranked team. Defensively, probably not our best night. I mean, Hoover had a lot of yards. There's a lot of things that we got to correct and get better. But overall, like I said, we played a lot better this past Friday night than we did the week before against Vestavia.
All right, Friday night we traveled to Carver. What are your game plans against that team for Friday night?
Just go execute. Carver's in our situation. They're 0-4. They're looking for a win. Their kids are hungry just like ours. We just got to go execute. We go out and execute. We do the things we're supposed to do. We don't turn the ball over. We stick to our game plan. Then we're going to have a chance to win the game. If we don't do those things, then it could be a long night. But I anticipate our kids responding well. Like I said, we had a good day at practice yesterday, and I look forward to a good day today.
All right. Do you think if we win Friday night, will that make our season turn around and be able to make it to the playoffs? If we win, we can just keep on winning?
I hope so. Like I said, we're going to take it one game at a time. I know that's an old cliche. Every coach says that and uses that, but it's true. I mean, we're going to take it one game at a time, one day at a time. And that's what I told the kids at halftime of the Hoover game and for the here on out. We're in a process where we're trying to rebuild this program, and we're trying to take this thing one day, one play, 1 week, one game at a time. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We got to focus on us. And then we get good enough that we can execute and focus on us, and we can worry about who we play. But yes, to answer your question, if we can get a win Friday night, it's going to help our confidence, especially going into the next week against Oak Mountain. No, like I said, the sport's still great. I'm proud of our fans, proud of our players. They're hanging in there. They're not giving up, and that's what I want to see. And like I said, we got a chance here to turn this thing around the next couple of weeks. And hopefully, like I said, we're focusing a week at a time. We got a chance to win some games. Thanks
for tuning in this week with our Sports Update with Coach Ross. Follow us on Twitter to get updates about the game, and tune in next week for another update with Coach Ross.
It makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much longer.